I just helped this player, and this player completely transform their offense in College Football 26 by simply switching to one of the top 3 offensive playbooks in the game. If you're tired of going 3 and out every drive or getting stopped because the defense knows your play, this is going to be the perfect video for you because I'm breaking down all the possible playbook options that you have that are actually good. You're not going to want to miss out on any of the plays or playbooks I'm breaking down today, so be sure to watch all the way to the end. Let's jump right into it. The first playbook I want to break down is actually the easiest offense in the game that not enough players are taking advantage of right now. Let me show you. Alright, so our first play here is going to be PA counter go from gun trips tight end. Alright, so what we're going to do is we are going to set it up like this. There's a couple ways that you can do it, kind of just depending on how you're feeling, but this is the first way where you just end up putting a backside dig on the field and making the read like that. This is going to be really great, I would say, to start a game, especially if you don't know what defense they're in. Now, this looks like man coverage to me, so sometimes I'll put like Ryan Williams on a zig route instead of because now you're able to see how that zig route actually has the chance to create separation against man coverage. So it's like if you're given an obvious zone tell, like more like this, well, I would just put him on a flat. If it looks like man, then I would probably just put him on that zig route. But you're able to see how we can get to a great spot in the zone, especially against cover 2 and cover 3 defenses, because of how you can attack zone logic. You put this guy on a flat to push the flat zone defenders outside, and that creates an easy opening right here in the middle just for you to hit your backside dig. Now, if they decide to get really aggressive with their hooks and like shade their coverage underneath to better defend like this in route, well, that's when you start to look for your crossing route over the middle. Right now, you're going to be able to see turn on the jet, speed boost, and you're able to score a touchdown right there. So that's really what makes PA counter go so effective, the first version. But also, you could just call slant post like this, where you put tight end on a post, slot receiver on a slant, snap the ball, and now you're again looking over the middle of the field, possibly against like cover 2 and cover 3 to that tight end post, or if like they run the same defense but then they're shading their coverage over the top, maybe to defend like the tight end post, well, that's when you just drop it off really quick to your slant. So again, boom, take the snap, and we just throw that slant right there. And then we juke that guy, and you're able to see how you're basically able to pick up the same amount of yards that you might have been able to, if you were to just end up throwing the post route. So PA counter go, 2 pretty good setups, very easy, right? It's just about going through a read progression. If you go with this version, I will look to my backside dig first, then my flat, then my crosser. If you go with slant post, right, you go with slant post, flat. Why am I lagging in practice? But I've never seen that before. If you go with this, though, then you're going with slant first, post second, maybe flat route third. So it's really just up to you. You're able to see how right here you're able to roll out of the pocket sometimes as well, slide down to the open field. So that's really the first easy play from this Alabama playbook, but let me show you another one that's really good. And that's going to be motion RPO read flat. All right, this play is so good because it's so hard to defend. You see how they're in man coverage right here, and that defender is going to be trailing that receiver literally every single time that you call this play. That's one of the premier, corners here in the game, but it's just the way the play is designed. He's going to come in motion, the ball gets snapped as soon as this receiver enters the tackle box, and you see how that forces this DB to kind of hesitate a little bit, and he also just takes a really poor angle, but it's also like he really doesn't have a choice because if he goes all the way around, he's giving up more yards, but then he undercuts it, and it just makes it to where we can just get an easy racking animation to the sideline. So if he follows, you're just going to see how it's going to be impossible for him to be able to defend that all the way across the field. And perhaps the best part about this play is there's no built-in man switching with this play. Now, here they go zone, and so obviously, that's also nice too, is you have a built-in man zone tell, whether obviously if the guy follows or not, but if they're in zone coverage, what you're reading is this defender right here. If he drops out to the flat, then you hand the ball off. If he doesn't, he crashes down in the handoff. Well, now you just throw that flat out there. But also don't sleep on the fact that you can keep it with your quarterback. You see how he crashes down right here, and so I keep it with my quarterback. Now, anytime they run man, I'm pretty much always going to throw that flat to my guy. But right here, zone coverage, read him. You're actually able to see how he kind of just didn't guard either one of them, but I keep it with my quarterback and turn that into yards. So it's like you have three pretty good options. You can keep it with your quarterback, you can hand it off to your running back, or you can throw the flat out here. But this is an RPO you can go to at any situation in the game and just follow your blocks and pick up easy yards. Like I've gone to this on the first play of the game, on like a 4th and goal from the 5. As long as your block can set up, this is going to be one of the easiest RPOs that you can run. You're able to see how this time we might even be able to score. Right, juke that and juke those two guys out, and we're able to score a touchdown. So really, as you're able to see, this RPO really hard to stop. They run man coverage, they get torched. They run zone coverage, they also get torched. All right, so if you found that breakdown, those 2 plays there from the Alabama playbook helpful, make sure you go down below and hit that subscribe button. I break down college football 26 tips and tricks just like this every day to help you guys get better throughout the summer as we head into 27, and you really don't want to miss out on any of the content I have. Subscribing is literally free, so go down below, do it today. But if you're serious about transforming your offense and getting better here heading into 27, go to the link down below in the pinned comment. Join my CFB University coaching program, which has my Alabama offense and all of my tips meta updated in written form for you to always save on your phone during gameplay. It's really the best way that you're going to get better to end the year here, start scoring some more points, and when 27 drops, we're going to be having the same great quality content. So join today by using code YouTube to get 20% off, and let's jump right back into the video. Because next I want to break down the most toxic offense here in college football 26 that, again, is really hard to stop because there's so much toxicity. Let me show you what I mean. Alright, so our first play here is going to be from single back bunch tight end calling stretch alert bubble, alright? And so really what makes this, RPO so dangerous is it's 2 opposite sides, right? So you either take the ball out to the edge with your ball carrier, or you throw that RPO right there on the backside. The reason why this is so good is because it's very rare for a defense to be loaded up on both sides, right? You could also have inside zone split in your audibles in case they decide to load up both sides, then you can go right up the middle. But it's like you're really just gonna read which side is more open. Typically it's gonna be that running back side, honestly, because if you can get out to the edge, seal the edge, let your block set up. You see I was able to speed boost out here and rip off this big gain. So you're able to see right here, take the handoff, 21's coming down, boost, boom, dumb out his pursuit angle, and now we're able to turn that into easy yards. So anytime you're building a run or an RPO scheme, obviously being good with the speed boost is going to make your scheme a whole lot better. But you're just able to see how, right here, they're constantly loading up on that RPO side. I have them in a random defense, but if you're noticing they're doing that, then that's when you just decide to throw the ball out, or keep it with your running back. But if they decide to commit more to the run, right, like right here, where they're more committed to the run, that's your opportunity to throw your flat out there, your bubble. I would say you want to always make the read based on the play. You never want to predetermine where you're going with the ball. There might be 10 plays in a row where you can't throw the bubble, you have to hand it off, and that's fine. Just make the read and live with the results. You're able to see right here where that lane's going to be open for us, and we're able to turn that into a big gain, or pretty good yards right there. So it's this is a great staple play because I'm pretty sure you can average 4 yards per play with this as long as you make the correct read, because you're able to see on that last play I made the wrong read and we pay for it. But it's now we're able to rip off a huge gain right there. Now having a guy who can speed boost is going to make this even better. My running back here can boost, but maybe I would want my receiver to be able to do the same thing. So you're able to see how this RPO going to be really hard for them to stop, whether they want to stack the RPO side or the run side, really whichever one. But the second play that makes this even better is the pass, because in order to, you have to sacrifice a lot to be able to stop RPOs. You're basically setting up your whole defense to stop an RPO. And so anytime I play someone that's running this scheme, it's well, now I set up defense for the RPO, but now they just come out passing. So now what you're going to do is you're going to come out and you play verticals, and now you're just going to quick snap it. So you're just going to walk over the line. You don't even really need to make any hot routes, just hot route or change your play audible, and now you're able to see how you have so many great options, to be honest with you. That tight end, curl route, sit route is pretty good, especially against zone coverage. Does a great job of just sitting in between the zones. You're going to be able to see right here where that's what I'm talking about, where that's just a nice safe check down if 86 didn't have butterfingers. But it's like, it's going to be pretty hard for them to stop both the RPO and then be able to stop this particular passing play, right? You can hit that running back pretty often. If they run like cover 3 sky or whatever, and they're really, trying to defend and they give up the seam, well, now you can just throw that and possession catch that pass right there in the seam. So it's like you have a lot of different options here with this play. Also, like if they run cover 3, right, you can also pretty typically hit this wheel route to like Jeremiah Smith right here on the sideline and absolutely torch them for a huge gain. So that's what I mean when I say this Ohio State playbook really toxic, because they pretty much have to run cover 2 or cover 3 in order to stop this RPO, right, to be able to actually put RPO defense on the field. And so that's really when you hit them with verticals, and then you just look over the top right there for a huge gain. So it's really like for them, pick your poison, which is what makes this Ohio State playbook, and these two plays in particular, super toxic. Alright, before I jump to that final playbook that you're absolutely not going to want to miss here in College Football 26, make sure you go down below, hit that subscribe button. I break down College Football 26 tips and tricks just like this every single day, and I'm the only one still doing it right now here on YouTube to help you guys get better. So what are you thinking? Subscribing's free. Go down below, do it today, and let's jump into that final playbook. Because next I want to break down the best bomb offense here in College Football 26. Let me show you what it is. Alright, so our first play here is going to be from Gun Bunch Strong Nasty here in the Oregon State playbook, motion bench double post. Now, what I always want you guys to know is you never really want to get in the habit of passing the ball from the middle of the field. It just makes your bombs and your money plays a whole lot harder to, convert. So it's like always make sure you're on a hash. If you happen to be in the middle of the field, like after a touchback, you should just run the ball and get on a hash. But the way that you're going to set this up is put A on a shriek, RB on a drag. So now what you're going to notice right here is this is going to be great, particularly against like cover 2 and cover 3 defenses. What makes it so good against cover 2 is everyone's told to use this middle linebacker who's typically going to be in a mid-read in cover 2. So if they user him, they're going to have to get all the way back here to defend your deep post while still trying to defend your tight end drag underneath. That's why you put it on the field, to really try to take advantage of their user, because that's the first route that breaks over the middle. So a lot of defensive players are going to take the bait and guard that. And so really what that does is it just opens up the middle of the field for you to throw that pass over the top. Your corner route to your X receiver is going to do a great job of just moving this deep half towards the sideline like this. You're able to see how he moves him outside, and so that's what allows for us to just throw this pass over the middle right here and convert that for a huge gain. Also, when they run a cover 3 defense, it's going to be a little bit different, because now your corner out is actually going to move that defender all the way out to the sideline. Now, obviously, you want to make sure that you have your tight end drag on the field in case you get pressured or you don't have time to throw, but you're able to see how right here we have a perfectly clean pocket and we're able to throw that pass down the field. What I would also say is you want to make sure that you're utilizing free-form passing, because when you do, you're going to be able to get this pass all the way over here instead of or you're able to get it all the way over here instead of more so catching it here and then having like an aggressive catch animation. Obviously, having a better quarterback is going to make this a little bit easier for you, getting better animations, but this is really the key. The corner route moves this guy down and outside and then opens up room for you to be able to throw that over the top. So really super effective here. You're able to see it once again. Cover 3 sky, shade your coverage underneath, take the snap, have plenty of time to throw in the pocket. We're able to launch that pass down the field, and that time we're able to score. So that's what I mean when I say you get a good rack animation. It's going to be really easy for you. But the great thing is, it's like too many of you guys try to read defenses, and so with this play, you don't actually have to read their defense, because even if they run man coverage like you're going to see right here, this corner route to X is going to do a great job of just frying. Obviously, he has cutter, and so that's going to make it better for him, but that's just a man-beating route. The way the corner route's kind of designed, it's going to do a great job of just beating man coverage. So regardless if you're playing against cover 2, cover 3, man coverage, this is going to be a great bomb for you. Always be ready to hit your check down in case you do get shedded, but your deep post and your corner route are also going to do a great job for you. But let me show you another play here from this Oregon State playbook, because that's going to be flood here from Gun Bunch A Strong Offset offset. All right, you want to make sure, like I said, it's pretty much mandatory that you call this play on the short side of the field because you're utilizing a flood concept. All right, so when we have a flood concept, we want to be able to attack the short side with our flood. Right here, they're going to run man, okay? And so really what makes this so good is that they're in man coverage and you put that running back in route on the field. Running back ins and outs are going to do a great job of just creating separation against man coverage pretty consistently, and you're just able to see how we're going to be able to turn this into, a gain down the field by stepping up in the pocket with your quarterback. You really don't want to get in the habit, because this is kind of an everything beater. This play is designed to be able to beat every defense, and so the whole point with an everything beater is to never take a sack. Or if you do take a sack, it's a very short sack because you have really great pocket presence, where you see right here I'm stepping up in the pocket to cancel my drop back animation, and that's what's allowing me to find these receivers open down the field because the ball's not going to be in the air as long, and I'm also just not going to take those horrible sacks. You see I get pressured right here, so I'm able to find my running back in route, to pick up a short gain. Incomplete passes, right, and drops, they're not really going to hurt you that bad. They're not going to kill your drive, but taking bad sacks will. You see how there's no flat on that side, and so we're going to be able to turn that into easy yards, speed boost, dumb out his pursuit angle, and turn that into easy yards. Really, with this play, flood, you're just going through your read progression. Your first read is your running back or your flat to RB, then you're looking to your tight end corner out to A, and then your backside dig to B. All going to be pretty good options for you. You're going to see how that tight end, sometimes he creates separation. It's not, it depends on who's there, right? If you have the best tight end in the game, he's going to do a much better job. But especially against zone coverage, you see how that tight end corner, you have plenty of time to throw, and you're going to be able to throw that pass over the top. So the most important thing here with really any play, but especially these two plays I'm breaking down here, is going through the read progression so that you can hit your running back first if he's open. I really could have hit this, but I did feel the pressure, or really feel the lack of pressure, step up in the pocket, beautiful pocket here, step up into it, and then allow for that tight end corner out to be open down the field. So really everything comes together with this play: pocket presence, read progression, making the right read on time, and you're really going to be reaping the benefits of this bomb heavy offense from Oregon State. Alright, so if you found that breakdown of the top 3 playbooks here in College Football 26 helpful, make sure you go down below, hit that subscribe button. Again, I break down College Football 26 tips and tricks, give you guys free ebooks every single day, and you don't want to miss out on any of the content. But if you want my full Oregon State or Alabama offensive ebooks, go to the link down below in the pinned comment. You can grab them today by using code YouTube to get 20% off. They both go through the full videos, screenshots, and write-ups, everything you're going to need to dominate an offense here to end the year in College Football 26, and I guarantee you're going to want to check it out so that you're ready to go day 1 of College Football 27. But if you want to see the top 3 defensive playbooks here in College Football 26 to pair with one of these offenses, check out this video right here. I'll see you over there. Peace.